So let us start. So today agenda will be on implementation of Azure blob storage account with private blob container, and the present is like I and Vikas Gupta will present about how can we use Azure blob storage with private blob container, what are the usage of storage account and how many types of storage account we are using, and what are the key implementations, key factors related to the storage account, and what are the things we can store in storage account, and what's the purpose of private blob container inside in between the storage account, and the use cases as well, and after that the demo. So let's start with the agenda. So agenda will be of, first of all, we are showing the introduction. So first of all, like introduction of storage account, what are the things, like what are the types we can use of storage account, and then we can come out to key features and benefits of the storage account. And after that, we are coming to the working of the storage account with private container, how it work with the private containers as well, and how can we access our blob containers with the help of this storage account. And then we can come to the use cases of storage account and comparison, conclusion, and last but not least about the demo. So first of all, like introduction. So introductions like for Azure blob storage, as like the definition is already done, like Azure blob storage, cloud storage provided by Microsoft Azure. So it has been provided by Microsoft Azure as well for the storage. Like we are using a EBS, EFS, S3 as well for the AWS, but in this side we are using an Azure blob storage. Like it has been provided by Microsoft Azure. So what the purpose, what the thing, like why we are using Azure blob storage? So it is using for allowing you to store and manage large amount of unstructured data such as text or binary data. It means to say you have to create a storage account. In between them, you have to create a container, and then you can store and manage all the things like data, or you can upload your files, folder, what are the things like you are using or access it with the help of that storage account. But that will be a private one. So you have to create a storage account and it will be a private. So you can store your documents, you can store your images, videos, and all that things. And also it will involve Azure blobs table storage as well as queue and storage. So these are the types of storage account that we are using, like for the file, for the table, for the queue. So these kind of things we are using for the Azure blob storage. And what are the purpose of Azure storage account? You can see on encryption. So always remember, like whenever you use Azure blob storage, it supports encryption at rest. Means it will ensure that security of your data. So your data will not be migrated, or you can say it will not be accessible without your help. So because, and it will be stored and decrypted when accessed. So when you want to access that data, it will be easily decrypted and been stored. Scalability and redundancy. So it will be provide a high scalability and durability. So your data will be highly scalable and durable in the terms of when you use Azure blob storage in the multiple regions and also in the multiple environment as well. Integration. So it will be helpful, like you can integrate this Azure storage account with your Azure functions as well. Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks, Azure Logic App. These kind of the term services you can integrate with your Azure blob storage as well. Like somehow you want to integrate some of the services related to Azure functions, and you need one of the storage account, so that it will be helpful for integrate with one another. So these are the introduction, like for the Azure blob storage that we are using for the types on different things. Now the types of storage account. So there will be different types of storage account that we are using for the Azure side. So the first one is general purpose storage account. So it will provide a balance of performance and cost. Means it will provide you a very good variety of the performance as well as the cost factor on the general purpose. And also it will support a data storage scenario, like as I've already mentioned about the storage account have some types like blobs, file, tables, and queues. So it will provide you a data storage scenarios as well as these terms like the types of storage account. And also it will provide you a tier. So there will be a two tier we are using for the blob storage. One is the cool and one is the hot tier. So it will be accessible for the blob storage as well. And second one is blob storage account. So the blob storage account, it will be optimized for storing massive amount and unstructured data. So as previously we are discussing that we are able to use this storing massive amount of data or you can say document, image, body, videos. So it will be helpful for this blob storage account. And same way, like it will also offer a hot and accessor for managing data access cost. Same type that I have mentioned on the general purpose V2. Third one is file storage account. So it will be helpful for design for hosting SMB files in the cloud. And also it is suitable for on-premises as well. On-premise application, like you need to access that applications on the on-premise. It will also helpful for sharing the files to the Azure. Now, third one is files and table storage. So it is helpful for designing us to store and query large amount of semi-structured data. It will be helpful for like the table wise, like you have set up some of kind of tables, and in between them you have store and query large amount of semi-structured ways. So it will be also helpful for that. And it will also provide a key attribute terms as well, like key attribute, like you have this functionality, like you are using a key factor, value factor, that will be helpful as well. And the last but not the least, for the queue storage account, so it will be helpful for storing and relieving message between application components as well. And this will be a scalable and decoupled that already we have mentioned. So these are the types of storage account that we are currently using in the market for the storage for the Azure side. Third one, like what are the key features and benefits? So as I have already told you, like implementing Azure Blob Storage with the private offers key features and benefits like security and access control. So first of all, like for the access control, it will be helpful for identity and access management side. Like it will provide you allow to access your data with the Azure role-based access controller, and also shared your with the RBAC as well as SAS. SAS stands for shared access signature. And we can restrict our this storage account to, yeah, it's used for application and authorizations as well. So mainly it will be helpful for the RBAC terms as well as for the access control like IAM and SAS, security access control. So data encryption, previously also we also see that on the data encryption, it will be helpful for that data encryption at rest, and it will provide you a very good layer of values, and it also help you for accessing unauthorized access as well. So this will be helpful for data encryption side as well. Scalability, already this term we have used. So for Azure storage account, we are using this for the scalable and manage large amount of data for the unstructured way. And simply we can scale up and scale down according to our need. We can use it with the help of this storage account as well. Now, cost-effective storage. So Azure Pro, it also provide you offers a cost-effective storage, opening allow you to between hot, cold, or archive storage tiers. So previously we had discussed about hot, cold, but in that term we can use a hot, cold, or archive storage tiers as well, because of your required needs or your data access, whatever the data you need to be accessed for the patrons. This kind of flexibility it will use for you use your cost according to your requirement. So versioning and lifecycle management, as you are all aware about the S3 versioning as well. Same way we can use on the storage account. It will provide you a versioning and the lifecycle management. Like according to your need, you can store the data within 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and it will be stored in archive. Same method we can implement in our storage account as well for versioning and lifecycle management. Then after key features and all, so I will tell like how can working of a storage account with private container we can do. So for that one, we have to first create a storage account. So always remember there will be a ways like how can we use. So there will be like you can create a storage account with the help of CLI. We can create a storage account with the help of Azure portal, as well as you can implement it through Terraform as well. In my demo, we are showing case like it will be created with the help of Terraform. So and also after create a storage account, you have to create a private container in between them. So once your storage account is set up, create one more container. Like you have to create a one container, and that container will be a private one that you have to use. And then you have to give that container access to private. That already I have told, like it will be a private one. So we have to set to a private access level and access control. After setup container access level to private, you have to use access control, like for Azure Active Directory for authentication and authorization. So once this will be implemented, when you run your Terraform apply, it will be redirect to your authorization and authentication. Means once it will be created, you are not able to access your private container country, but it will be a way like you can use bastion and ways. So these are the ways you can use your working or storage account with private container. So how to access your blob container? So in this method, you can use your blob container as well. Like how can you access it? So you can navigate to Azure portal. In that one, you have to go for the storage account. And in storage account, you can go for the container, and that container, like suppose you are creating a storage account. And in storage account, there will be a multiple containers that you have to create it. Only now you want to access one of the container that you need to be work on it. So that you can use and you can select you from the help of this storage account, and then navigate to blob container. So this will be part of Azure portal that how can you implement it. So under the settings, you can view it and access control, and then you can view and manage your blobs. So this way you can access your blob container. So now use cases. So for use cases of storage account where we use a blob storage account with private container. So sensitive data storage. So yeah, so if you see on the organization level that I was telling you, the organization level, it will be provided sensitive information, like there will be a company records, there will be a company, some of the files or folders, there will be things that we have to be sensitive information that they don't want to be compromised, they don't want to be hacked. So for that one, this blob storage will help in the mind, and it will help us like it will be restricted on few the people, like for the company perspective or organization level persons will allow that one or access it, not the outsider or any of the like XYZ person come to access their storage account. No, it will be not it will be able. So that sensitive data storage will be helpful for that kind. And second one, like for the application data storage. So many applications like required a backend storage. So if you see, like if you set up a application inside that, you need a backend storage solution as well for storing your media files or logs and all that. So for that one, private blob storage secure provide a secure repository for save that data and ensuring that that data will not be compromised and it will be authorized user can access it or modify. So you can access it or you can edit or you can modify according to your need for the application data storage. And then content management system. So content, like it will provide you a solution of media access like images. You have created a storage account in between the container you have using some of the images, videos or document. So it will provide you a backend storage for CMS platform, and it will allow you to control access permissions for different users. Like suppose specifically you have some of the users in organization that only need to be accessed, that person will able to access that one. Backup and disaster recovery. So it will be also helpful for securely backup and ensuring the files and implementing disaster recoveries as well. So obviously, like in organization, there will be definitely a replicate data is also implemented for storage account redundancy for maintaining and access control. It will be unauthorized to backup the data. So these kind of terms, like it will be helpful for the backup and disaster recovery. Data analytic and machine learning. Nowadays, for the machine learning perspective, if you see on lower clouds, this will also helpful for creating that data analytics and machine learning. So these are the use cases that we are using for the storage account with the private container. So these are the use cases that we are using. Now, comparison of blob storage account with private blob container. So access control, like already we have discussed a lot of things about the access control. Same way like the blob storage account. If you see by default, it will be provided you SAS and Azure AD credential. Same way you can use it for the access control, and same way for private blob container. This will be you can set your container level access, like whatever access you want to be, and it will control that container, and also it will provide you Azure AD identities as well to resource within a virtual network. So I will show you in a demo like how can we create a virtual network, and in between them how can provide an identity, like how can access a virtual network and subnet in between them, how can use an identity in between them. So this kind of terms I will show you in the demo. Scalability, like for the scalability, blob storage account, it will provide you a scalability, can contain multiple containers according to your requirement. It will you can scale up and scale down your containers according to your requirement. And for the private blob container, same way, it will also scalable in limited like for the storage account. And isolation. So isolation, it will provide a large logically separated using container. And also it will configure setting and billing for the blob storage. Same way it will do for the private blob container as well. Security. So security side, like it will offer a large amount of security on blob storage account and private blob container as well. Like it will provide you a network isolation and the virtual networks and integration with your Azure Security Center. So these are the ways like we can use comparison between for a blob storage with the private blob container. Next, conclusion. So conclusion will be the part of like for the blob storage account with the blob with a private blob container. So this is provide you enhanced security. So if you see like for the authorization of your storage account with the blob container, it will provide you a layer of security, and also for confidential data. Means it will not compromise your data. It will be a safe side for the enhance the security. Control access, like same way like private blob containers that will be accessible or can be restricted like on the Azure AD side, SAS, and specifically IP address range. So you can put your IP and all the details, and it will accessible through that container blob storage account with the private blob container. Compliance requirement. So for the compliance perspective, this term is also used for the data storage and access. And also it will be utilization in the private blob container by ensuring that data will be accessed in the control in our sites as well. And then data isolation. So for the data isolation, private blob, it will be helpful for the provided data stored within them, and also container and resources with the storage account. Whatever the resources you are creating for the storage account, it will be helpful for provided data isolation. And cost consideration. For the cost consideration, that will enhance security and control, and consider the Azure blob storage pricing depend on the factor like hot, cold, and standard. These kind of tiers you can use according to your requirement. And performance implementation, like it will be performed like overhead of the public container, especially when so there will be also a terms like you can use a public container, but in organization that not be a suitable. We have to create a private container, and then it will be also impact on it. It will be also reliable on your performance implications as well. So these are the conclusions like we are using for the storage blob storage account with private container. Now come to the demo. So for the demo side, so I have created one resource group. So always remember, whenever we create Azure, we are using Azure account, we have to create one resource group. So I have created one resource group and make it as a name test-storage. So I have put it a name as a test-storage and name border. So for making as a variableize, I am using var.name. So if you see that resource group name, so name I have put type. So type will be string. Always remember, whenever you put a name of the storage account, sorry, for the resource group, that name will be mentioned in the default. So I have put this as a default name, and the description I have given it like storage account name. So same way, if you see, I have put it var.name inside, and also if a location, if you see var.location. So I have also implement the location. So I am put it like variable location, and type will be string, and default I am putting, I am using the region East US. So this is the location currently I am using on that one. Then once the source group will be done, then I have created a virtual network. So currently I am using one virtual network. So inside that, I have created a virtual network having a name test-vnet, and same way I am using a name var.name and -vnet. So address space, so I'm giving an address space like 10.0.0/16, and the location. So same way I'm putting the location as a source group test storage location, and the resource group name as already as ORM resource group dot test -storage dot name. So I have put it a resource group name as well. Inside that, after that virtual network, I have created a subnet, because for the storage account, we need resource group, we need virtual network, and we need subnet. Same way, I have created a subnet, and this will be a test subnet that I have created. And the name, same way, like if you see award.name hyphen vnet mentioned, then same way I have mentioned award.name hyphen subnet. And the resource group name I have mentioned. So this is the resource group name. If you see Azure RM underscore the resource group dot test hyphen storage, that name I have mentioned. And also I have mentioned a virtual network name as well. So this is the virtual network name I have used for test hyphen vnet and address prefix. So I have taken the address prefix of 10.0.200/24. So that will be a subnet that currently I am using, and the service endpoint. So this is the service endpoints. So service endpoints, like we have to put a service endpoint in between the storage account as well. So I am putting a Microsoft.SQL and Microsoft.storage. That will be enabled. So that will be enabled. If this will not be enabled, it will not able to access your storage account, and it will create a problem in between them. But we have to put that one. Once this resource group, virtual network, and subnet will be created, then we have to create your storage account. For that one, I have created a resource of the storage account, and I have given the name test-storage, test_storage-account. And in between, I have put a name. So what name I have taken? Resource group name. Like if previously I was telling you that I have taken this resource as a resource group name, and the location is also taken from that one, that side location that I have put it, and account type. So as I have mentioned, like there may be account type that we have to mention, like cold, hot, or that one. So in between them, that local. So for that one, I have put it locals.tf as I have created one file as well, and in between them, I have put it account type as standard as well. So there will be standard account as well, and then account replication type. So account replication type. So there will be options like account replication type. So I'm taking as a LRS. And once this will be created, so and then I have put it a network rules as well. So I am putting my IP, like this will be my public IP that I am creating, and this is my IP, and I have provided the virtual network subnet ID as well. So means like once the storage account will be implemented, then it will be create an IP address of this range, and it will be provide this subnet, VNet, and the source group. These kind of things will be implemented. And once this storage account will be created, these steps like the storage account will be created inside that. Once this will be created, then I have created the storage container. So as I have mentioned, like Azure Blob Storage with private container. So same way, I have taken a storage container, and name will be like a blob hyphen container. And the name I have mentioned what.name hyphen private container. Storage account name, like I have taken from this side. So this way I have put it test storage account, and container access type. So local. In between the local, I have put it a container access type. If you see on the local side, so that will be a private. So container access type will be implemented. So these way we can create a resource group, virtual network, subnet, storage account, and storage container. So, so if I go for the LS side, so see these are the files that currently I'm using. If I go for the Terraform, already I have done the inlet. If you go for the Terraform plan, and Terraform, if you see like it will create first resource group will be created. and then it will come to the your virtual network. So test-vnet it will be creating, and it will be created, and then it will become to the subnet. So test subnet it will be created. So see, there will be a resource group is also created, virtual network is also created, and test-subnet, that the subnet that I have mentioned is also created, and the storage account. Once this is done, so it will create a storage account. So see, so after the storage account, it will provide you a container, that container having a blob storage is also created, and that will be a private container. There will be resources, and if you see, the storage account ID is also showing, and the storage account name is also. So if you want to see, so currently what I am doing, so I am using a AZ login. Okay. After AZ login, then it will ask you that what kind of account you are using. So for that one, currently I am using. So if you go for the home, so once you will use your that storage account, you have to put your subscription ID as well. I have put in my subscription ID as well. If you see, if you want to check like what the currently I'm using, easy account show, it will tell me like, okay, you are using currently at this ID. So this is the subscription ID currently I am using. So this way you can see like you are using your AZ login account. And now see what are the things currently it will be created. So you have to go for the storage account. First, you have go to storage account, and in between them, if you see that one, that storage account I have created, storage account CodeCamp. So this is the storage account I am using. In between them, so if you go for the networking side that I have mentioned already, so this will be asking enable from selected virtual network and IP address. So if I go for downside, so there will be a VNet that I have created, and there will be a subnet. Like I have already mentioned in the code, virtual network, subnet, and their value as well. So this is the resource group that I am using, and this is the subscription that I have mentioned. And this is the IP that currently I'm using. So this is my system IP that I have put on my system. So this is the way like you can use a firewall and a virtual network for that. And once this will be created, then you have to create a container. And if you see that I have created one container, and that container will not able to access it. So this is the way like this container will be implemented. So this is the way like you can use Azure Blob Storage with the private containers. So yeah. Yes, a team, any question, anything? Yeah, Himanshu, team. Any question on that one?
Okay, so are you there, Rohit? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm yeah.
Okay, fine. Uh, Fine. If you are done with the session, then let's wrap up from here. And have you checked with attendees that are they having any queries as of now?
Yeah, actually, I'm asking on that person's like, is there any question, anything you want to discuss?
Okay. So guys, if you are having any queries, then please do let us know over here. I guess this is the right time at the right platform that you can get your answers from the presenters over here. And if not, then as always advised, you can always reach out to them on Teams. No response. Okay, so we are good to wrap up from here, Rohit. Thank you, Rohit, and thank you, Vikas, for delivering the session. And with this, we'll be rolling out the feedback form. All the attendees are requested to kindly fill the feedback form, and by tomorrow we'll be rolling out the assessment for the same. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Jim.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.